Well, good morning, everyone. If this gospel passage sounds familiar, it's probably because we heard Matthew's version of the same parable on Sunday at Mass, right? And although the details are different, Matthew and Luke both tell this story of the master who entrusts his wealth to his servants as he goes away on a journey. And then upon his return, he is pleased with some of the servants who handled that responsibility well, and he is displeased with one who did not. And he praises the first servants because they invested his money wisely. He calls them the good servants. And he chastises the other, the last, whom he calls a wicked servant, because he hid the money away. Now, in this parable, the master represents Jesus, the servants represent us, and the master's wealth represents the gifts that God entrusts to us. And as I was praying and reflecting on this parable, I was struck by the contrast between these two servants, the wicked and the good servant. The good servant acted boldly, and the wicked servant acted out of fear. Now, I am told that the phrase, "do not be afraid," or "be not afraid," appears more often than any other in the Bible. 365 times, once for every day of the year. Now, I've never counted it myself, right? But people smarter than me, more patient than me have, and I believe them. And I don't think it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that every day of the year God tells us, be not afraid. Right? But be not afraid doesn't mean go off half-cocked or don't be cautious or thoughtful. It means put your trust in the Lord and move forward. Now, each of the servants in this parable were instructed to use the master's coin in a trade, right, in commerce. And I'm sure that they all faced this task with some trepidation. Right? I mean, what happens? What if you invest the master's coin and you get nothing in return? Right? How do you explain that? But two of them acted boldly in spite of that trepidation. And one acted out of fear. Or more accurately, one out of fear failed to act. But fear is normal, right? We all experience fear. But in the Christian life, fear is a yellow light, not a red light. Proceed with caution, don't stop. In fact, if we stop in the Christian life out of fear, we're going against God's will. God tells us 365 times, be not afraid. So that's, I think, the point of this parable is, as Christians, we are called to act boldly, to boldly share the gifts that God has given us for the glory of God. And those who choose to hide those gifts away out of fear risk being deemed wicked servants at the end of time. So this morning, as we gather to share this most sacred meal, let us pause for a moment and reflect upon those gifts that the Lord has given each of us. Do we share them boldly, or do we hide them, keep them hidden away? Today, let us resolve to be bold,